McFarland Spartans, and Edgerton and Waunakee. I am Mike Madursky. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Phil McDade. Phil, they brought us back for another week. I can't believe they did that, but I think we're good to go.
Yes, pretty amazing. Glad to be back here at the Angie O'Donnell Aquatic Center, or at McFarland High School, and should be a good triple duel between the Division I Warriors from Waunakee and two Division II teams, McFarland, the host, and Edgerton.
Yeah, it is also senior night. So between, I believe, the 50 and after the 50 free break, we'll be having a little award ceremony for all the seniors for all three schools, Edgerton and Waunakee and McFarland. So we'll broadcast that as well. But we're just about ready to go, and we'll start with our national anthem. All right, we're going to start things off with the girls' 200-yard medley relay junior varsity. We'll have Waunakee, McFarland A, and McFarland B. In lane 3 for the Waunakee A relay, they'll have Fahey, McCullough, Cralum, and Ruff. For McFarland's A in lane 4, it'll be Johnson, Zoo, Ray, and Tobin. And for the B relay, McFarland in lane 7, will be Douglas, Bradell, Branch, and Heckel.
This meet, as you can probably tell, is being run under some COVID-19 protocols. You'll see some student athletes on the sidelines wearing their masks when they're not competing. Lots of social distancing. In a way, this pool is ideally suited to run this kind of meet because its seating for the spectators is above the pool, basically from the view you're seeing right now. So it's easy to separate parents and fans. It's mainly parents in the stands tonight from competitors, which is another protocol that COVID-19 has brought upon us. And we're off with our first race.
All right, and we're off with that 200 medley relay. As if you're not familiar, the medley relay will be backstroke and then fly and then breaststroke and then ending with freestyle.
And off to a little bit of a lead here in lane 4 is Hadley Johnson for the host Spartan Sharks. She's going to give way to Karina Zhu here pretty soon.
Another nice exchange there for all three. And again, Johnson giving away to Zoo, Fahey giving away to McCullough, and Douglas giving away to Bradell.
Each swimmer swimming 50 yards of each stroke, a lap up and down the pool. And making the turn there in first place is Zoo. I think, young freshman, for the Spartan Sharks.
Yes, that is correct. Just 14 years old. It's amazing.
Well, one of the great things about the sport is that you can start it when you're young and really improve just through a little bit of hard work and being coachable, and all that's good stuff that we like to see in student athletes.
And again, they give way. Another good exchange there. Kralum in lane 3 for Waunakee, Ray in lane 4 for McFarland, Branch for McFarland in lane 7.
And the Spartans JV relay here, pretty safe lead with Izzy Tobin, another freshman, swimming the anchor leg here.
Lane 7 is Sophie Heckel for McFarland, and they're going into the water is Trinity Ruff for Waunakee. We mentioned it was senior night. That's Trinity is one of the seniors for Waunakee. She is looking to attend MATC and hopes of becoming an orthodontist someday.
Nice.
And 2:14.12 for that relay.
Pretty good time for a junior varsity relay.
And the B relay for McFarland coming in at a 2:27.69 and Waunakee coming in at 2:29.39. We are now going to event number 2, the 200-yard medley relay for the varsity. In this relay, we've got Edgerton in lane 2, Waunakee in lane 3, McFarland in lane 4, Edgerton in lane 5, Waunakee in 6, McFarland in 7, and Waunakee in 8. We'll tell the names as we kind of go through here.
This should be a pretty good matchup, I think, between McFarland's relay led off by their ace backstroker Mara Freeman. Edgerton, which had a nice run last year, qualified a couple of relays to state for the first time in program history. Their very good backstroker Ella Gorski is going to lead off, so this should be a pretty good contest between these two swimmers from McFarland and Edgerton in the middle of your pool.
And there we go. Edgerton Patterson for Edgerton is in 2. Soderman for Waunakee's in 3. Freeman, as you mentioned, is in lane 4. Gorski, as you mentioned, in lane 5 for Edgerton. Grindle for Waunakee is in 6. Green and the B relay for McFarland is in 7. Markard for Waunakee in 8.
And pretty closely contested here between Freeman for McFarland and Gorski. Freeman's got a bit of an edge. Gorski's going to touch off second, followed by Waunakee's Hannah Grindle.
26.99 for Mara.
Not bad, under 27. And here in the pool are the breaststrokers.
Yep, for the breaststroke, it's Hale. So starting in lane 2, Hale, Wallace in lane 3, Billman for McFarland in 4, Schmidt in lane 5 for Edgerton, Pauls for Waunakee, Kunze for McFarland in 7, and Cattell for Waunakee in 8. They're coming in, another nice exchange there, and that's that is Emily Schoenbroek. And
a nice effort by both breaststrokers for the top 2 relays there. Laura Billman for McFarland keeping her team in the lead, but Mackenzie Wallace for Waunakee edging her team into second place. And it looks like those two lead the way, with Edgerton now in third with Clara Villarreal on their fly leg. But let's see if Adriana Nichols can bring this home for the Spartans. She's going to be chased by Isabel Kottenauer for Edgerton. Pretty good race here. I think McFarland's got the lead off the wall, and I think Adriana's going to bring this home. I'm sorry, that was Sarah Walter for Waunakee in second place. But a good effort by these two teams.
Yeah, 152.02 for McFarland coming in the lead. And Waunakee coming in second, 152.91.
So 2 squads under 153. That's pretty good. These teams are getting ready, sectionals for this one-off spring season that the WI has organized for these teams that were not able to compete during the fall season because of the COVID pandemic. The spring season has been organized, and sectionals are right around the corner, coming up, I think, on March, a week from today.
Yeah, little odd timing, right? States, usually on a Friday, Saturday. This will be Tuesday?
Yep, it's going to be on sectionals Tuesday, and then on the 30th and state on the 6th. In talking with some folks who've had some conversations at the WIA level, the Good Friday, Easter Sunday holiday kind of threw things for a mix. It was kind of tough to figure out a way to organize the state meets around those. They wanted to make sure to have participation, and so they moved the state meets usually held diving on Friday, Saturday, on swimming on Saturday to a all-day Tuesday format. Once again, being held at Waukesha South High School, about 45 miles east of the McFarland area here.
And this is now event number 4, the girls 200-yard freestyle varsity. In lane 2, we have Satterley for Edgerton, Fahey for Waunakee in lane 3, Alf for McFarland in lane 4, Patterson for Edgerton in lane 5, Abendroth for Waunakee in 6, League in lane 7 for McFarland, and Draper for McFarland in lane 8.
And off to a good start here. And for McFarland, that's Sophia Alf leading it out in lane 4. Also in good shape up there in lane 7 is Lily League for the Spartans. They've got a pretty clear advantage over the field. One of the things to watch during these 200-yard races is the turns. They'll make 7 turns on the day or during the event. And last week's meet, I overheard Spartan Sharks coach Nick Weiss talk about who's coached a lot of these young ladies on the way up through the club program, needing to work a little bit better on their walls. Turns are always heavily emphasized by swim coaches, and getting a little bit of an edge off the wall can certainly be an advantage, but you can really see both Alf in lane 4 and League up there in lane 7 off to a really sizable lead here for the Spartans.
Also, I'd like to point out in lane 2, Angela Satterley is one of those Edgerton seniors. She plans to attend University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, majoring in journalism. So good luck to her in her endeavors as well.
Angela indicates that she may be interested in continuing her swim career at UW-Oshkosh, joining the WIAC conference, which is a really fine competitive collegiate Division III conference. But this is Alf touching out in 2:10.27. Good effort there by Sophia. League in 2:12.30 right on her heels. So good effort by those two ladies for the Spartans.
We've got event number 6 coming up here, the girls 200-yard individual medley, the varsity edition of this race. In lane 2, we'll have Ellie Kunze from McFarland. Lane 3, Eleanor Lake from Waunakee. Adriana Nichols in lane 4 for McFarland. Gracie Nimmer, Edgerton in lane 5. Sarah Walther, Waunakee is in lane 6, and Emma Hall for McFarland is in lane number 7. Again, I'd like to point out 2 of our seniors are in this race. In lane 6 for Waunakee, Sarah Walther. She plans to go to MATC and then potentially UW Whitewater for secondary education. Emma Hall is looking to either attend Edgewood College or UW Oshkosh.
And a pretty good race here. We've got Lake from Waunakee off to a bit of a lead here over Nichols of the host Spartan Sharks. They're on the backstroke leg. This is the IM, which is swum in a different order than the medley. The IM is You'll see these swimmers transition from the fly to the backstroke just completed now and onto the breaststroke. And this is often the defining part of the meet or the race for these swimmers is the breaststroke. It's the slowest event, so you can make up the most. If you're a good breaststroker, you can make up a lot on the field here.
Yeah, we've seen that plenty of times where it's always seemed to come down to the breaststroke, and people will definitely catch up here. And so we'll see if Adriana Nichols can do so here.
This is Lake having a nice swim for Waunakee. You can see her really digging in with her pole on her breaststroke. She's got a nice long pole for a 50 breaststroker, and she'll turn with the lead over Adriana. Adriana's a solid freestyler, but she's going to have to make up at least a couple of body lengths here on Lake to grab the win.
It looks like Lake's got a nice strong freestyle, so
she does.
It's going to be pretty hard to catch her, I think.
And actually, up in lane 7, Emma Hall making a nice move for McFarland. She's now moved into 3rd place. But this is Lake with a nice win for the Warriors here. Coming under the flags, and she'll touch out in 2:21.
Pretty good.
Good solid time.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Adriana in 2nd, and we're going to see Emma Hall up there on the top in lane 7, touching out in 3rd.
I think we mentioned this last time, but just the this shortened season and just the disruption that we've seen this year, these times are pretty impressive, I think, given what these swimmers have had to go through and these athletes have had to go through.
Absolutely. Coaches usually get 12, 13 weeks with these student swimmers during a regular season. Oftentimes they've been practicing with their clubs beforehand, and a lot of that, particularly here in Dane County, has been truncated or really diminished. And the season this year for the spring swimmers is going to be 8 weeks. So really, coaches are probably working a lot on fundamentals, technique, probably a lot of mental coaching, mental positive coaching, given some of what they've had to endure this year. So good to see high school competition in swimming and diving returning to Dane County.
Absolutely. Now is up the most exciting event in my opinion for swimming, and it's the 50 free junior varsity 50 freestyle. Lynn Rhodey from Waunakee in lane 3, Karina Zhu in McFarland lane 4, Kyla Thorson in lane number 8 for the junior varsity.
See former McFarland swimmer Joe Heiser there talking to Emma Hall about her race. And there's head coach Jessica Garvey in the white t-shirt. But here we are with the 50 free. This will be the first of 2 heats for the junior varsity swimmers.
I know you mentioned Joe Heiser and Jessica Garvey while we're waiting to get ready. Another famous McFarland High School swimmer, Derek O'Donnell, in the stands today, cheering on the club teams that are part of the high school as well.
New father, Derek O'Donnell, I believe.
That is correct.
Word on the street is correct.
Leo, I believe, is the name of the new child.
Great name. 3rd for the O'Donnells.
Congratulations to them. All right, the 50 free, all about your start, your turn, breakout at the end here. Let's see what they can do.
This is Karina Zhu in lane 6 with a nice lead here. Karina's not the tallest of swimmers, but she's got a nice stroke going here. Nice beat, nice kick. And she's going to touch out in 32.90.
Good job.
Good effort. And up there in lane 8 is Kyla Proctor, working with one of her teachers here at the McFarland School District. Finishing up her 50.
There she's coming in.
And getting a big hand from the crowd here. There she goes.
There's another shot of Joe. All right, heat number 2 of the junior varsity. Keenbaum for Edgerton, Bruner for Waunakee, Detmers for McFarland in 4, Punzel for Edgerton in 5. Jekyll for Waunakee in lane 6, and Natalie Branch for McFarland in lane 7. And looks like Chloe off to a great start. Chloe, also again one of the seniors. She plans to attend college at UW Stevens Point or River Falls. This is her favorite event, as you can see. And we'll talk about this a little long, maybe the next time she's in, but talk about one of her favorite meets, which is, quite frankly, one of my favorite meets too, and that's the conference meet a few years ago. All right, 27:56 for Chloe. Great swim there. And now we'll do the varsity version of the girls' 50-yard freestyle. Lily Sharp for Waunakee in 1, Hale for Edgerton in 2, Blitz for Waunakee in 3, Schoenbrot for McFarland in 4, Gorski for Edgerton in 5, Pronina for Waunakee in 6, Schwab for McFarland in 7, and Brooklyn Ray for McFarland in 8.
Ooh. A little bit of feedback there. There should be a pretty good race between the top 3 swimmers in the middle of this pool. Blitz of Waunakee, Schoenbrot of McFarland, and Gorski of Edgerton. All swimmers with state meet experience.
Yep. Emily with a good turn and a breakout. Looks like Gorski is going to close. Does she have enough pool? Nope. 25:40. For Schoenbrot, another good outing. Lane 3, Grace Blitz for Waunakee coming in 2nd. And in 3rd, Dara Pronina for Waunakee. And while we are waiting for the break, I believe, and senior night, we've got the sound patched in. Phil, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of the scoring here on this triangular meet and kind of how that looks?
Oh, golly, triangulars.
We don't see those very often. For the people listening at home.
That's a good question.
For the people listening at home, we don't really see those. It's usually dual meets. Triangular meets is a rarity. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go dig out the swimming books and figure out how that works while you guys listen to what's going on here for senior night. Again,
I do know that in some cases they've been running these as double duels, and so you score them like a traditional dual meet where 6 points goes to the first place finisher, and then it goes 4 for second, 3, 2, 1 through 5 places, and then relays are scored 8 points for first, 4 for second, and 2 for third. But maybe they're scoring it as a triple duel, and I'll have to dig out the books for that one.
That sounds good. All right, we're gonna be quiet now for a little bit, and we're gonna let the seniors do senior night and their presentations. So enjoy.
hear me up there? Yeah? All right, perfect. So my name is Jessica Garvey, and I'm the head coach for the McFarland High School girls team. We are going to announce our 3 seniors here. So we can honor all the coaches or all the seniors for all the teams. The coaches are just going to say a little bit, and every swimmer, we have information about what they're doing after high school, their favorite event, and their favorite swim memory. So we'll try to keep it as streamlined as possible. So when the seniors come up, depending on which lanes they're in, they're just going to stand up. We'll say our things. You can take a picture. We will also have some time afterwards during the break and after the meet if you would like to take photos as well. So we're going to start with Michaela Cornelius. Hop up on lane 8. All right, so Mac plans to attend MATC or Milwaukee and plans to study criminal psychology and forensics. Her favorite event is the 50 freestyle, and her favorite swim memory is when she got kidnapped, and I say kidnapped in quotes, her freshman year, and they went to Denny's on the first day of school at 4 a.m. It's a lovely little tradition that we have with our seniors and the freshmen, and the parents always know it's happening, don't worry. And she ended up with 2 different pairs of shoes on her feet. So the people at Denny's were a little concerned. So, Matt Cornelius. All right, and our second senior is Chloe Detmers. Chloe plans to attend college at UW Stevens Point or UW River Falls. Her favorite event is also the 50 freestyle, and her favorite swim memory is the conference meet from sophomore year when we won, specifically the 400 free Varsity B relay that swept. I remember walking back to the team and everyone shouting, jumping, and hitting me on the back, and then the bus ride home, we were all so happy and screaming to songs. So one of my favorite coaching memories as well. So thank you, Chloe. And our last senior is Emma Hall. Emma plans to attend either Edgewood College or UW Oshkosh. Her favorite event is the 200 free relay, and her favorite swim memory is swimming at Small School State her freshman year. Here's our seniors from McFarland.
Thank you. Stay in line. All right, I am the coach from Waunakee, and here are our wonderful seniors. We have Hannah Grindle, who will be majoring in education at the University of Minnesota. Her favorite event is the 100 back, and her favorite swim memory is winning conference as a team freshman year. Next, we have Alex Markart. Her post-high school plans are going to UW Oshkosh and majoring in human resources. Her favorite event is the 100 free, and favorite swim memory is any team bonding, sleepovers, or fundraisers. Now we have Brianna McCullough. She is going to go to Colorado State. Her favorite event is the 100 breaststroke, and her favorite swim memory is when Alex got stung by a bee. Okay, now we have Tessa Pauls. She is going to go to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities for chemical engineering. Her favorite events are the 100 free and the 100 breaststroke. And her favorite swim memories are riding the bus back after swim meets. Next, we have Daria Pronina. She is going to be studying nursing and linguistics at University Madison and rowing for their team. Her favorite event is the 50 free and the 400 IM. And her favorite swim memory is Wildcat Wednesday sprint sets. I'm so in the way. All right, now we have Trinity Ruff. She is going to take some time off and work full time, then attend MATC in hopes to becoming an orthodontist. Her favorite event is the 500 free, and her favorite swim memory is finishing her first 500 free. When she started competitive swim in 7th grade, she never thought she'd be a distance swimmer, as she could barely swim a 50 freestyle. And lastly, we have Sarah Walther. She is going to go to MATC for generals and then UW Whitewater for secondary education. Her favorite event is the 200 freestyle, and her favorite swim memory is sharing a hotel room with Tessa at a meet in Kenosha. Thank you, Waunakee swimmers.
Hello, everybody. I am your Edgerton Crimson Tide coach, Jordan Kreitzman, and I will be giving you our very own seniors, starting with Angela Saderly. Hold on a second, not you. Post-graduation, Angela plans on attending the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh, where she will major in journalism and maybe continue her journey of swimming there. Her favorite event to swim is the 200 freestyle, and her favorite memory of her swim career is painting the rock in front of the high school with the girls before every meet. Our second senior, I give to you our very own Clara Villarreal. Post-graduation, Clara plans on working, probably at a pool somewhere, hopefully somewhere away from home. Her favorite event to swim is the 200 IM, and her favorite memory with the team was hiking at Devil's Lake last year. Strike a pose, ladies.
All right, thank you to all of our seniors. One more round of applause for the seniors for all the teams. And the pool is now open for 10 minutes. Use the same lanes that you use for warm-up. Thank you.
sound like I'm underwater. 2. Hey, announcers, can you hear me?
We got you. We can hear you.
Hey, all right. Well, it seems like we're gearing up, so whenever you're ready, we'll be ready for you.
Yep, we'll start here in just right now. So.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to start right now with the event number 10, the girls 100-yard butterfly for varsity. Some great little presentation there for senior night to recognize these seniors, and they just did a good job. It just, I don't know about you, Phil, but it makes me feel old. I've seen a lot of these kids when they were 9 and 10, and now to see them as seniors, it's not good.
Well, and it's good to have some of these traditions back. You know, the COVID pandemic has really thrown a loop into sort of these rituals we take for granted: senior recognitions, graduations, proms, all these sort of events that high school kids live to enjoy, and they've gone a year almost without some of these activities. So it's nice to see a senior recognition done well, and have these seniors recognized.
Absolutely. So again, event number 10, the girls 100-yard butterfly. Jekyll for Waunakee in 3, Schmeiser for Waunakee in Jekyll in 2, Schmeiser in 3, Schombrot for McFarland in 4, Virial for Edgerton in 5, Bound for Waunakee in 6, and Billman for McFarland in 7. And a nice start there by Schombrot.
Yep, swimmers oftentimes will, the savvy ones will watch the starter early on in the race and kind of get a sense of their cadence, maybe if they've got a quick whistle or if they hold you for long.
Good turn, good underwater again by Schombrot. She's going to be coming in here in the lead here at the wall. Let's see what kind of time she posts.
And then we've got
28:02 for the first 50. That's pretty good.
Looks like Emily Schmeiser is in second place. Her older sister Abby was a accomplished swimmer for Waunakee, a state qualifier for Waunakee, and it looks like she's trailing Emily here in lane 4. I'm sorry, lane 4 in the middle of the pool. And she'll touch out not quite under a minute, 1:01:07.
Good time for her. And Schmeiser in lane 3 comes in second, 1:03:11. And for the top 3, Brooke Brown from Waunakee in lane 6 with a 1:07 flat.
This is Maddie Jekyll of Waunakee coming in on her last 25.
There you go, nice finish there. All right, next up, event number 11, the girls 100-yard freestyle junior varsity. One heat of that in lane 2, Road from Waunakee, and then Abendroth for Waunakee in 3, Caroline Green for McFarland in 4, Katie Punzel for Edgerton in 5, Alex Marquardt for Waunakee in 6, Charlotte Douglas for McFarland in 7, Izzy Tobin for McFarland in lane 8.
Swimmers are off to another good start. Looks like a slight early lead for Caroline Green in lane 4. And giving her a push up in lane 7 is Alex Marquardt. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Charlotte Douglas of McFarland.
Yep.
Giving her a push up there in lane 7. Those two have the lead.
Alex Marquardt in 6 is a senior. She's, again, going to UW Oshkosh. This is her favorite event, so let's see how well she can do there.
And I think they turned virtually tied coming off that last wall for this last stretch of the 100 free. It's going to come down to a touch. And by 200s.
Lane 4 is the winner there.
Caroline Green just edges out Charlotte Douglas for the Spartans. Good race there, good effort by those swimmers. And we've got one coming in here from Waunakee. This is Lynn Rohde from the Warriors.
And she touches in at 140.01. All right, next up we'll have the event number 12, the girls 100-yard freestyle varsity. Lane 2, Kittle from Waunakee. Lane 3, Pronina from Waunakee. Lane 4, Freeman from McFarland. Lane 5, Hale from Edgerton. Lane 6, Schumacher from Waunakee. Lane 7, Sophia Elf from McFarland. And Chloe Detmers in lane 8 for McFarland.
This is an event where Mara Freeman, who's swimming out of lane 4, she was 6th in this event at the last state meet held for Division II girls, which was fall of 2019.
2019, yep. Hard to believe it's been that long since there's been a state meet.
It's been amazing. And Freeman, not surprisingly, is off to a pretty strong lead here. He's got about a body length lead with a 50 to go. Looks like giving her a push is Daria Pronina of Waunakee in lane 3, but Mara's got a pretty solid lead here. She's a tall, lengthy, strong swimmer. And she's going to ease into a pretty solid win here. We'll look at her time.
53.47.
54. Very nice for Mara.
Pronina from Waunakee again coming in 56.27, coming in second. And Sophia Elf, a good time there, 59.53, coming in third for McFarland.
Solid 1-3 finish by the Spartans there. We'll see Mara again in the 100 backstroke, I believe. Yep, looks like she'll be swimming the 100 backstroke.
And as we get ready to get ready for the 500 free, and they're setting up the counters on the other end, we did dig through all the books and the swimming paraphernalia, and we did discover how this meet is scored. So, Phil, would you like to take it away?
So it's being scored as what's known as a triple duel. So you have, even though 3 teams are competing in the water at the same time, you end up competing really against 2 distinct and separate teams for the meet competition. So McFarland actually swims a dual meet against Edgerton and swims a dual meet against Waunakee, and Waunakee swims a dual meet against McFarland and a dual meet against Edgerton, and Edgerton swims a dual meet against their opponents McFarland and Waunakee. So the complicated scoring is handled by Stu Schaefer and his excellent crew, and somehow they get all the data into the computer base and figure it out. We've got unofficial swim totals, team totals through event 12, which is the one we just swam. We just swam the 100 free. So unofficially, we've got McFarland beating Waunakee 59-35, Waunakee 64, Edgerton 24, and McFarland 68 and Edgerton 21. So McFarland is up on both their opponents tonight. Well, Waunakee's up on one, and trailing the other, and you can see the counters for the 500 marching out to the bulkhead here. This is the only event in swimming where a teammate can help you through the meet. They're serving literally as lap counters, making sure they don't lose track of how many laps they have to swim during this 20-lap event.
All right, and in event number 14, the girls 500-yard freestyle, we have Kralem from Waunakee in lane 2, Eleanor Lake from Waunakee in lane 3, Hadley Johnson for McFarland in 4, Angelina Sattery for Edgerton in lane 5, Trinity Ruff in Waunakee in lane 6, and Ellie Draper in lane 7 for McFarland.
And right off the bat, this is a real good camera view, and you can see an interesting contrast in the solids between Hadley Johnson, who's a real tall, lanky swimmer, and you can see the length of her stroke there in lane 4. She's got a pretty solid kick, a little bit of delayed kick there. And then right below her is Eleanor Lake, who won the 200 IM earlier this evening for Waunakee, and you can see she's got much more rapid turnover. Her kick is a little bit more consistent. The challenge for any swimmer with a stroke rate that high is holding it on for all 20 of these laps for the 500. This is a race in which all swimmers are swimming 20 laps of the race, but they sometimes have different approaches to how they want to take on this event. And Lake now is opening up about a body length lead on Johnson there.
Do want to point out the great camera work done today, and shout out to this broadcast is brought to you by McFarland Cable. Our crew is Nick Boucher, who's the director, Andrew Day, his audio and graphics, Stephanie Miller and Patrick Heasty are on cameras. This is a McFarland Communications and Technology production. Again, Mike Midursky and Phil McDade providing the color commentary.
And this is Lake coming off the turn. She's going to be putting in her 200-yard mark. We'll see where she stands after 200 yards. We'll catch a glimpse of her time. She's going to make the turn in about 2:10. Had her at about 2:10 and change. So good opening 200 for the sophomore from Waunakee.
And again, some nice splits there. Looks like 34-60 versus 35-75. Lake versus Hadley Johnson.
Yep, coaches want their swimmers to hold consistent splits. Basically within about, a third to a half a second of each other. The really good distance swimmers, the ones that see in college, can often hold that split down to within a tenth or two-tenths of a second within each other, and do that for a mile if you can believe it. So this is a nice effort by the youngster Eleanor Lake from Waunakee. This is a nice solid race she's put together. These laps here, the laps 12 through 18 can be the real kind of crunch time. You've got yourself off to a solid lead. You've established your pace, and this is where all your training comes through these next 6 laps or so.
Phil, do you find that in this year, which is it's just again an odd year because of COVID, typically at this time as we're coming up on sectionals, we kind of have a good idea of what's going to make state. Do you have any sense this year of because it's D1 and D2 combined? Any sense of kind of cuts for state this year?
I had an email exchange with a coach about that. On the one hand, you'd think because it's a combined effort between some very good D2 teams. Madison Edgewood out there, McFarland, Ashwaubenon up in the Green Bay area has a very good team. That combined with some very good Division I teams, Sun Prairie, Verona, Middleton, you'd find a pretty fast competition at the sectional level to get into state. But I don't know, I was really tremendously impressed by the quality at the top end of the Division I meet this year. Brookfield East and Arrowhead had a real shootout, and Brookfield East just had an incredible meet. They set a state record in the 200 medley, came close to set a record. Abby Wanizek set a record in the 50 free. They came close to a record from their senior Riley Tiltman in the 100 backstroke, set a meet record in the 400 freestyle to end the meet that way. So a lot of that really good talent swam last fall, and it's not that there's not talent swimming this spring. There certainly is. I just kind of wonder how much depth was taken out of this alternate spring season. So I think I think it won't take a miraculous effort to get into to the state meet. I was talking to one coach as we watch Eleanor Lake head for home for her last 2 laps. You can hear the bell here. Talked to one coach who said his girls team in Division I oftentimes had to set a school record to just qualify for state, but it was that competitive. I don't think we'll see anything like that. And in an interesting way, I think it might open the door for some more opportunities for kids to swim who might not ordinarily make a state meet. You know, kids who are the 5th or 6th kids in their lineup might make it. Kids from, you know, I'd certainly expect these Edgerton girls, Gorski and Schmidt, for instance, to make a return visit to the state meet. But it's really up in the air, and this is a nice effort by Eleanor Lake, the sophomore from Waunakee, touches out in 5:44.95. Good time.
Good time indeed.
And Hadley gets under 6 minutes as well with a 5:52.28 swim.
So you mentioned you mentioned Riley Tiltman, who swam for at the state meet. You and I watched NCAA meet, and so she's now swimming for University of Virginia, who ended up winning the national title last week. And so it was fun watching her swim as well.
She's had an amazing 6-month run. She nearly topped Vita Nelson's state record at the high school state meet at Waukesha South for Brookfield East. Swam on their meet record 200 free or 400 free relays. Swam fly on their state record 200 medley relay. Won the 200 free, an event she'd never swam before at state, and won that. And then finds out, I had heard some stuff about this, that the NCAA was allowing, if you qualified, early admits to schools this year, and it wouldn't jeopardize your 4 years of eligibility. So Riley, in January, traveled to Virginia, where she committed as a recruit about a year ago, and ended up swimming with Todd DeSorbo's Cavaliers, and swam at the NCAA meet, swam really well, finished in the top, I think, 6 in one of her events. I think her 200 backstroke was 6th, and scored a lot of points for the NCAA champions. So in the course of 6 months, she went from swimming a state champion and then a NCAA champion, which I'm kind of curious. I spoke with my WISCA coach buddy Kyle Bedelov. We've talked about maybe having Riley on a podcast or a webcast, and I'm not sure there's been another swimmer who's ever done that, who's competed and won a state championship. I know Isabel Ivey is a good swimmer for Cal, who competed in both high school and college in the same calendar year. I don't know that anyone in an academic year has won 2 titles of that nature like Riley did. Quite a feat. And we've got all our swimmers in for the 500. Good effort by all these ladies swimming those 20 laps.
All right, next up here we'll have event number 15, the 200-yard freestyle relay junior varsity. And we have, on the junior varsity side, we have 2 teams. We'll have the Waunakee team of McCullough, Markart, Bruner, and Ruff. And for McFarland, you'll have Branch, Heckel, Bradell, and Thorson. And I think it's great we've got Kyla doing the relay here. Should be fun to watch. Good for her.
Swimmers in the water. This is Brianna McCullough for Waunakee in lane 6. And for the Spartan Sharks, Natalie Branch in lane 8 up at the top of your screen. And for those viewers watching at home, you can get a really good sense. This pool was built, open in 2019. It's been chosen and would have hosted a high school sectional meet this past fall, but that got put on hold, and we anticipate that this great aquatic center is going to host a sectional meet in the near future, and you can kind of tell why it would make a great sectional meet. There's a lot of deck space here.
Yep.
Seating is on a mezzanine up above from the view that you see right now from the camera. You can see off to the right there a swimmer there doing some warm down laps, and it's got a warm down area, which is a somewhat obscure but sort of vital point for a lot of coaches and swimmers. They like to be able to warm down and loosen their limbs after their swims, and McFarland wisely and thoughtfully provided for a warm down area for swimmers that's right behind this bulkhead. So it really is almost an ideal site for hosting a sectional. Oftentimes we talk about sectional sites. They're kind of like churches. They're not built for Easter Sunday, and very few high school pools are built for a sectional meet, but this one clearly is, and it's a nice addition to the high school swimming scene here in southern Wisconsin.
Well, and I think what was great about this building as well, I mean, this is also the McFarland community pool as well. A lot of swim lessons, a lot of senior events are held here too, and so that we kept that in mind as we were building this thing. So it's good. And there goes Kyla swimming her 50 in the relay.
One of the great attributes of swimming, I think, is that it's a program and a sport that's open to all ranges of ability.
Yeah.
And all you gotta have is a desire to swim and be with some great teammates, and there's always a lot of community support for swimmers of all abilities.
Absolutely.
Just inside the flags here for Kayla. And she puts her head down and finishes out. Good effort.
All right. Well done. And now we'll have event number 16, the girls 200-yard freestyle relay varsity. Seven teams. Waunakee C relay of Grindle, Sharp, Kittle, and Aberndorf. Edgerton. We'll talk about Edgewood later. Edgerton of Punzel, Slatterly, Nimmer, and Kindbaum in lane 2. Waunakee, Wallace, Sotbin, Promina, and Blitz in 3. The team of Alf, Schwab, Johnson, and Ray in lane 4 for McFarland. Schmidt, Contour, Varial, and Gorski in lane 5. Waunakee's B relay of Pauls, Walther, Schumacher, Bound in lane 6. League, Hall, Detmers, Kunze in lane number 7 for McFarland. Pretty even here through the first 50.
I think this is Edgerton's Jenna Schmidt with maybe just a bit of a lead here for her Edgerton team.
Schmidt gives way to Contour for Edgerton. In the lane next to her is Natalie Schwab.
And a little bit of a lead here for Waunakee in lane 3 with Elena Soutobin given away to Daria Pronina. Chased by McFarland's Hadley Johnson. And Edgerton's not out of the mix yet with Villarreal in lane 6 up there, but this is Waunakee with the slight lead over the Spartans. This is going to be Blitz, which is really a great name for a swimmer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to blitz the field, haha, here, and she's off to a healthy lead here. I think she's going to make the turn with a good body length or two in front. This is quite the race between the Spartan Sharks and Edgerton for second. Good turn there by Gorsky for Edgerton, and
it's going to come down to the wire. Ray digs in.
And I think, do we get a bad touch?
I don't know.
I thought I might have had Gorsky out touching.
I did too.
On the visual here, but I can't, the scoreboard, you sometimes get bad touches on these touch pads, and there's backup timers.
McFarland's B relay ends up third here. And then in fourth is Waunakee's B relay.
We'll let the timers and scoring officials sort that out, but
yeah.
we at least visually had it. Waunakee 1, Edgerton 2, McFarland 3.
And now we'll be up for Junior Varsity 100 backstroke, event number 17. Looks like they're trying to sort out that relay as well, trying to figure out who came in what.
The scoring mechanism is actually pretty sophisticated here at most high school meets. There's a touchpad which registers the swim. There's a thing called a plunger, which is a mechanical cord attached to the touchpad, which is pushed by a timer behind the blocks when the swimmer touches out. And then there's at least one individual timer behind each blocks at the state meet pre-COVID. There used to be 3 timers behind a block, and I've done that myself. Attending the state meet and timing, and
I don't think you can be a swim parent and not time at some moment.
I often tell people the loudest sound I ever heard was being on deck during the last event of a state meet at the girls' state meet that was being decided by the 400 free relay, and
yeah,
I've heard jet airplanes less heard quieter jet airplanes take off than that noise.
And heaven forbid somebody's going to come from behind on a 400 free relay, right?
Heaven forbid, yep.
So in the pool, we've got Charlotte Douglas for McFarland in lane 2, Rachel Fahey for Waunakee in 3, Lily League in lane 4 for McFarland, Izzy Tobin for McFarland in 5, Carolyn Green for McFarland in 6.
And some varsity score totals here through event 16. That was the 200 free relay we just saw. We've got McFarland on top of Edgerton, 83-33. McFarland's topping Waunakee 72-52, and Waunakee is ahead of Edgerton 85-32. So pretty closely competitive meet with 3 events to go here.
Got a pretty close race here. And looks like lane 7, Carolyn Green outtouched Lily League, 107.62, 107.70, 800ths.
By a smidge.
Coming up, we've got the event number 18 girls 100-yard backstroke varsity. In lane 2, we'll have Hannah Grindle for Waunakee. Lane 3, Elena Sutpin from Waunakee. Mara Freeman in lane 4 for McFarland. Mackenzie Patterson, Edgerton from Mackenzie Patterson from Edgerton in lane 5. Emily Schmeisser from Waunakee in 6. Adriana Nichols, McFarland lane 7. Emma Hall, McFarland lane 7. Lane 8, sorry.
And pay close attention to lane 4. This is McFarland junior Mara Freeman. She was the state champion as a freshman. I actually did a little bit of research today, Mike. Her sophomore year at state, she swam nearly a second faster than she did as a freshman when she won. but finished in second place. So that, I think, demonstrates how fast Division II has gotten with some really outstanding swimmers at the top end. And we see Mara making the turn in first place. She's got a fairly distinctive backstroke style. She's a little bouncy. You see her kind of develops this rhythm where she's bouncing a little bit in the water. Coaches probably ideally would like to see that a little bit quieter from her, but she makes it work, and she gets through the water pretty quickly. And this is a really nice effort. She's going to be well under a minute here, and we'll see where she touches out. I'm looking like 57:58. Yeah, 58:01. I remember when that used to win state in Division II. She does it in a routine dual meet. So good effort by Mara there. And a nice effort by Emma Hall. We should say Emma Hall finished, I believe that was Emma.
No, it
was Adriana Nichols. Finishing second in 102.86.
But Emma Hall had 112 instead of finishing fourth there. So.
Yep, and third place by Elena Sadabin by Waunakee.
Next up, we'll have the girls 100-yard breaststroke junior varsity. Sophie Heckel in lane number 2 for McFarland, Natalie Branch for McFarland in 4, Anna Kinebaum for Edgerton in 5, and Catherine Bedell for McFarland in lane number 7. And I know we mentioned this last week, you know, breaststroke is just one of those special events for McFarland. We always seem to have some great swimmers, great breaststrokers in particular, coming through from not only the high school but also the club meet. I think one of my favorite memories is actually the last state where Ella Weaver and Emily Landwehr ended up moving higher in where they were projected to seed to bring McFarland another state runner-up title.
2-3 in that race, I believe. Ella's now at UW Eau Claire, ran into her mom the other week, and she's a member of the Eau Claire Blue Gold swim team, finished up her first year. And I believe
Emily's at Butler.
And
so they're gearing up for the Big East championship meet coming up in the first week in April. So
teammates with one of her fierce rivals from years past. The McFarland Edgewood rival has been one of the great rivalries in Division II girls swimming, and Izzy Peterson was a part of those Edgewood swim teams, and now
for Butler.
She also swims for Butler. So and a Final Four host. They're hosting part of the the NCAA tournament. So it's been nice to see Hinkle Fieldhouse, which for basketball fanatics out there where the final scenes from the movie Hoosiers were shot at the Butler University campus. Old historic Indiana Fieldhouse.
Natalie Branch comes in 128.96 to and then Kienbaum coming in second, 131.12. You were just full of great trivia. It's amazing, Phil.
As I tell my family, it's a mile wide and an inch deep. There's no depth here whatsoever, but
I enjoy it. That's really all that matters. And I'm sure people at home are enjoying it too. All right, we have 2 heats of the girls' 100-yard breaststroke for the varsity. Brianna McCullough for Waunakee is in lane 3, Karina Zhu for McFarland in 4, and Gracie Nimmer for Edgerton in lane 5.
We saw Karina Zhu, the freshman for McFarland, earlier swim and run a heat of the 50 free. The the breaststroke is an event where size doesn't necessarily help you in some ways. You can be on a smaller size like Karina is, and really if you're an efficient breaststroker, you can get through the water, and you oftentimes see these efficiently swum breaststrokes by swimmers on the smaller side of things, and they can oftentimes be faster than the big folks swimming against them.
Got a message from Mr. Burdell. He just says, "Hickory, go Hoosiers." So. Andrew, thank you for listening. We appreciate it. So we've got at least one person listening, so that's good.
Well, and if we had more time here, we could go on trivia about Indiana high school gymnasiums. I read a feed where Indiana has something like 15 of the 17 largest high school gyms in the country. It is a sport taken seriously down there, but so is swimming, and here in McFarland it is too. And we've got a nice little swim here by Brianna McCullough of Waunakee, touching out in first place with 1:30.37.
All right, next up we'll have heat number 2. Cottonor from Edgerton in 2. Mackenzie Wallace from Waunakee in 3. Laura Billman from McFarland in 4. Jenna Schmidt, Edgerton in 5. Tessa Pauls from Waunakee in 6. Ellie Kunze from McFarland in lane number 7.
This could be a pretty good race.
Yeah.
Wallace, Billman, and Schmidt have state meet experience. Schmidt, who's going to be swimming in lane 5 for Edgerton. She was 11th last year at the state meet. Mackenzie Wallace for Waunakee swam on their state meet qualifying medley relay. Billman has been at state for Waunakee, or for McFarland, so it should be a pretty good race, I think.
Yep.
Swimmers will take a slightly different approach with their stroke rate here. This is a interesting race, or interesting stroke, because it's really 2 parts. Your lower half, which is your kick, that dolphin kick, and your upper half, which is your reach out and your pull. And you can see Wallace out to a bit of a lead here over Schmidt, with Billman trailing in 3rd. Mackenzie's got a pretty nice high rate of turnover. Schmidt tends to be a little bit longer in the pool with her stroke. And we'll see them touch nearly simultaneously. I think Mackenzie Wallace of Waunakee's got a bit of a lead. Long pull out for Schmidt up there, up in lane 5, and this may come down to a touch. Billman trying to make up some ground here. But boy, I don't know who this is going to be.
And it looks like it is Wallace. Wallace coming in at 1:10.62. Well, no, sorry.
Well, it
was a soft touch.
I think
right?
it was a soft touch. I had Mackenzie winning by probably about a half second. She finished right on stroke, which helps a lot. Right. May have just touched the pad.
There you go. Now they've adjusted.
There we go.
1:10.16 for Wallace.
Yeah. So good swim. 1:10s these days. That's a solid swim for these swimmers.
Absolutely. All right. Event number 21, the junior varsity version of the girls 400-yard freestyle relay. Waunakee's A relay of Abendroth, Sharp, Kittrell, Marquardt. McFarland's A relay of Draper, Tobin, Douglas, Green, and Waunakee, Ruff, Bremer, Kralum, and McCullough for Waunakee.
We've got some scores here through event 20. That's the breaststroke that just concluded. We've got McFarland 104, Edgerton 43. McFarland 90, Waunakee 66, and Waunakee 108, Edgerton 40. So McFarland is 2 for 2 so far tonight, and barring, I think even with a disqualification, I think they've got the meat in hand. I think if you get the 90 points in a high school meet, you've got the meat in hand. But we'll swim it to the end. This is 4 100 swims on a relay. This is oftentimes a tough swim for these youngsters, they've been exerting a lot of aerobic energy. In the brief time we've run this meet, it's been an hour and 20 minutes.
Yep.
And this can be a real gut check at the very end of a meet.
Yeah, girls are definitely tired, but you get a boost of energy here. You know, you're running out of adrenaline trying to get score points, especially on that relay.
Yep.
So while this is going on, you know, again, we want to thank our seniors, all of our seniors that have competed tonight. Hannah Grindle, for Waunakee, you have Hannah Grindle, Alex Markart, Brianna McCullough, Tessa Pauls, Dara Pernina, Trinity Ruff, Sarah Walther. For Edgerton, their seniors, Angela Satterley and Clara Virial. And for McFarland, Michaela Cornelius, Chloe Detmers, and Emma Hall. So again, congratulations to all those seniors. Well done, and looking forward to seeing what they all do in the future.
They've had an unusual swim career the last couple of years, they've soldiered on and made it through this as a tribute to these young ladies and their work ethic and their dedication to the sport.
McFarland out to a pretty big lead here.
McFarland will make the turn with the lead. This is Charlotte Douglas with the lead for the Spartans, and she's going to be followed up by Caroline Green, is going to swim the anchor leg for the Spartans on this 400 free relay. Good exchange there, good safe exchange. One of the things that the meet officials look for here is a exchange and a legal exchange on relays. The swimmer in the water, their hand or part of their body has to touch the touch pad before your last toe leaves the starting pad. And we've certainly had some, not so much at the high school level, you occasionally see some controversial DQs on the collegiate level.
Yep.
Sometimes at the Olympics you can see a DQ. At that level, the swimmers are really pushing their starts to gain as much of an advantage. I always felt one of the smart things that the U.S. Olympic coaches did was oftentimes swim Michael Phelps in the middle of a relay because his relay starts were so unbelievably good.
Yep.
That guy would look like he would be off the blocks before the swimmer had touched in, and on replay you'd always show that he was leaving just a hair after the relay swimmer before him had touched out, and that's what, among many things, made him the greatest swimmer ever.
Right.
Just a number of great relay starts by Phelps.
You got McFarland coming in there at a 4:32.26 in first. Waunakee coming in second, 4:41.
And I think we got one swimmer still in the water.
Coming in. Yep, coming in. Our last.
This is Brianna McCullough for Waunakee.
Meters.
Yep.
All right, we are coming into the last event, the girls 400-yard freestyle relay. In lane one, you'll have the Waunakee C relay of Bound, Schumacher, Walther, and Pauls. For Edgerton, you have Hale, Patterson, Kindbaum, Punzel. The A relay for Waunakee of Blitz, Lake, Pernina, and Wallace. McFarland's A relay of Schoenbrot, Alf, Nichols, and Freeman will be in lane 4. Edgerton A relay in lane 5, Gorski, Varial, Cotnor, and Schmidt. And Waunakee in lane 6, their B relay, Schmeiser, Grindel, Fahey, and Sotoban. And McFarland's B relay of Ray, Detmers, Johnson, and Schwab.
Can you see from some of these lineups, some of these swimmers are turning around and swimming this race just after they swum. Mackenzie Wallace won the 100 breaststroke swimming anchor leg. Jenna Schmidt for Edgerton swam the breaststroke and swimming the anchor leg. Mara Freeman, who just swam the 100 back, she's swimming her 3rd race since the break, so she's had a pretty heavy back half of this meet. Coaches often look to their swimmers' training and endurance. Even though it's not a long race, it really tests your endurance and your training ability to go hard at this last 100.
It looks like it is going to be a race here between Blitz and Schoenbrodt, 1 and 2. Waunakee close behind. So one of the swimmers in is Chloe Detmers, who's in lane 7. She's a senior. I wanted to point this out because her favorite swim memory is the conference meet her sophomore year where McFarland ended up winning. And that B relay was such a key to that win. They ended up 3rd, beating Edgerton's B relay, and that's what put them over the top for the 400 free. And so she talks about specifically the 400 free varsity relay. I remember walking back to the team and everyone shouting, jumping, hitting her on the back, and then the bus ride home, they were all so happy, screaming. And so yeah, that was conference title for McFarland, something that Edgewood had always taken away from.
Yeah, and when you talk to coaches, it's often, conference meets the stars tend to rise to the top, but it's oftentimes those 7th, 8th, and 9th swimmers, those B relays, that make the difference in a conference meet, and it certainly was that night.
Yeah, we were all. I do remember that night. We were all in the stands. Even the parents were looking more at the B relay than the A relay. I think the A, that we knew that was the important relay.
And out front here, we've got Waunakee off to a lead here. This is their 3rd swimmer, Daria Fronina, who's got the lead.
Against Adriana Nichols here for McFarland.
And Anna Keinbaum Isabel Kotnauer for Edgerton is in lane 5. And they're trailing. This looks to be right now a 2-team race.
Yep.
Good solid turn there by Fronina, and she's going to hand off a pretty substantial lead to Mackenzie Wallace here. We'll see if Mara can run this down for the Spartans. She's got close to half a pool length.
Yeah.
This will be fun to watch. Mara will certainly give her a run. I think Mara's made up a little bit of ground here. It's just whether she's going to have enough real estate with 50 yards to go.
Yep.
And whether, sometimes you see swimmers out front just kind of fall apart and go into oxygen debt. But Mackenzie's a pretty experienced club swimmer. She's pretty solid, and she looks like she's going to have this race well in hand coming off her last turn. And we'll check on Waunakee's time. They're going to be under 350, well under 350, about 345 or so. Yep, 345.48.
Good time again. McFarland coming in at 349.08.
And even though she didn't quite catch up, I can imagine Mara's pretty happy with that split. Looked pretty solid.
Yeah, look good.
And one last swimmer for Edgerton here in the water. One of the great attributes you'll see of swimming sportsmanship is all the swimmers wait until the last swimmer is touched out before they exit the pool. That's a long-standing tradition, and it's a sign of respect for the effort being put forth by all swimmers. As Katie Punzel makes her way to the final touch out of the meet for this triple duel. Good effort.
All right, well done.
Well, we should have final scores shortly, and we'll present those to you when they arrive.
And while we are waiting, Phil, thanks again for joining me.
It's been a treat.
It's been fun working with you. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. Maybe this ends up being a permanent gig. I don't know. We'll have to renew our contracts and see what kind of long-term deals we can get.
Negotiate with the superintendent.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, I want to, while we're waiting for those scores, I do want to thank again McFarland Cable. This broadcast is brought to you by McFarland Cable. The broadcast crew of Nick Boucher, Andrew Day, Stephanie Miller, Patrick Hasty, McFarland Communications and Technology Production. They did a great job. So again, hats off to them, and thank you. And so while we're waiting, do we have the...
Not quite yet. I'm going to see if I can just get it here.
Got a shot there of Coach Garvey.
She's gearing up for sectionals. Sectionals are in a week, I believe, a week from tonight.
That's right.
And she'll be traveling over to Jefferson for that meet and getting her squad ready. We assume that that we'll see a good number of Spartans qualify out of that meet. I think Waunakee is going to be traveling to the sectional that's being held at the brand new Waunakee pool at Waunakee High School. Waunakee just opened up their pool. It's Coach Garvey giving us some thank yous over here. We're wishing her good luck. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait on the final scores. Maybe we can put those in on the video. So, but yeah, good luck to all these teams. I believe Edgerton's gonna be at the Jefferson sectional. Waunakee's gonna be at the Verona sectional. And McFarland, the Spartan Sharks, are gonna travel to Jefferson to hopefully get some qualifiers to the state meet.
That's right.
And our final team scores, here we go. McFarland 94, Waunakee 76. McFarland 114, Edgerton 47, and Waunakee 118, Edgerton 44. So congratulations to all three teams, and good luck at sectionals.
Good job. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Phil, again, thank you again. That concludes our broadcast. Thank you guys. My name is Mike Widerski. Phil McDade signing off. Take care.